Alright. Uh, Hello and welcome to Top 8 Gaming's F&M stream. We're going to be starting off with Modern today. Also, just for everyone to know, we are starting a promotion. If you follow our Twitch channel, we're going to send you a coupon code for 10% off your next purchase at top8gaming.com. So go ahead and follow. Speaking of which, the past couple days we've gotten a couple followers. Zeronox has followed us, and 83E0F518 has also followed. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Today we have round 1 of F&M starting up. Philip Coxhurst on the left. He is playing Sultai, some form of Sultai. And then Owen Johnston on the right is playing a Gifts Control. He's playing every color but green. He described it as Grixis White. So we should have an exciting blue-black base control here. It's going to be pretty exciting. I'm not sure what's that Pithy Needle's named on. I'll see if I can get that up for us. Alright. Anyways, we've got a Dark Confidant Bob from Phil, and Owen just got that Pithy Needle in play. Looks like he's starting his turn 2. Looks like he just shocked in his Steam Vents off his Flooded Strand. Okay, Pithy Needle's naming Creeping Tar Pit. And so that's that Manland. I'll actually get it up on the screen right here. So it turns into a 3/2 unblockable blue-black elemental creature, and he's not going to be able to use that as his win con this game. So Phil's probably going to have to resort to just grinding down with his Dark Confidant. Not sure what other creatures he's played in the deck yet. I'm sure we'll see them as time goes on. This is a very slow matchup. We're going to see both sides cast a lot of their very powerful spells. So it looks like Owen Johnston, he was shocking in that Steam Vents just so he could cast the Serum Vision. He wants to leave a black mana up. We'll maybe see what it's being left up for. There we have Phil getting value with the Dark Confidant, and then attacking with it. It's a very effective creature. A lot of decks in Modern right now have been dropping the Dark Confidant in order to play Grimflayer, but Phil is definitely making use of it. He doesn't necessarily just want creatures in his cards in his graveyard. He wants to get recurring value out of cards in his hand. He wants to have counterspells in his hand. When you're playing blue instead of white and green, you end up having a lot more spells that are useful in your hand and not as much in the graveyard. So Owen here playing a Jace Vryn's Prodigy. That's going to let him do some looting. Alright, looks like we're going to have life totals updated in just a second. It seems that Phil is at 19 and Owen is at 15 after playing that Hollowed Fountain. Alright, and Phil playing a Collective Brutality on his turn. We're going to see how many modes he's going to choose. Probably one of them is to give Jace -2/-2, which is going to kill him, Jace being an 0/2. And then probably going to look at Owen's hand. Owen being on a Gifts Ungiven deck, he has a lot of very powerful spells in his hand. Actually, looks like he's going to be doing all 3 modes of Collective Brutality, discarding a Grimflayer as well. Interesting that Phil is going for the full amount of 2 drops. He's probably got some Goyfs in there too, so Goyfs, Grimflayers, and Dark Confidants. And here we see, I believe that's that's a Thopter Foundry on Owen's side. At first I wasn't sure if it was an Esper Charm. So Phil's not going to be able to rip anything out of Owen's hand, but now he has the open information. Now he knows what he has to fear. So Owen starting his turn here. He might play a Lily and just try to kill one of the Bobs. It's going to save him a bunch of life, keep Phil a bit lower down on cards. Okay, just flashing back the lingering souls that he got in his graveyard. So he's got two little blockers. That's gonna keep the Bobs at bay. They're being 2/1s. They're not gonna want to attack into the 1/1 flyers. It's definitely gonna help Owen in this game. But Phil very well could have some removal in his hand. He cast a collective brutality. He has very good cards in his hand. Since he discarded very good cards, I don't see why he would ditch so many cards if he didn't have more to cast. And there we have the proper spirit tokens, just 1/1s with flying, not too amazing. And there's the Thopter Foundry with a quick counter with Spell Snare. Spell Snare very useful, being able to counter any 2-drop, and Owen playing right into it. Alright, we have Phil playing a Polluted Delta. He's gonna crack it off. Oh, seems like they missed the Bob trigger. They just caught that now, so they're gonna make him draw. Now he's playing the Delta. Playing his Noble Hierarch, and then looks like he's just attacking for 3. This will make the 1 Dark Confidant trade for both the spirits, or Owen can suck it up and take 3 and go all the way down to 5. I don't think that's where he wants to be right now, especially knowing that Phil is playing Grim Flayers, which have trample as well. It's going to be a lot scarier. And there's a Jace on Phil's side. Looks like Phil definitely has a much better board right now. Of course, he's just constantly refilling his hand with those Bobs. Owen's gonna have to get an amazing top deck to try to get out of this. Oh, and a Tarmogoyf 2 from Phil. Looks like it's pretty big. It's with an artifact. I believe it's a 5/6. It might just be a 4/5. But Lil's not going to be enough for Owen to get out of this game. He's probably going to have to top deck his gifts and get something really good from his library. So there's the untap. Looks like he's just going to deploy Liliana. If he does take it up, Phil's probably just going to sacrifice his Noble Hierarch. It looks like he might just sacrifice a Bob instead. He's thinking about it. Yeah, the Noble Hierarch is the easy sacrifice here. Phil's in such an aggressive position, he just wants to turn everything sideways, get Owen dead as soon as possible. Taking another 2 off of one of his Dark Confidants. Those are doing some good work this game. Really helping him restock his hand. Alright, and just smashing with everything. Probably just attacking Owen directly. I don't see any reason why you would attack Liliana right here. Snapcaster Mage being flashed in. In response, Phil is going to flip his Jace. Probably just so the Snapcaster can't... Actually, the only spell in Owen's graveyard right now is the Seer Visions. Phil probably just trying to find a better removal spell, and looks like he found a Dark Blast or something like that. And Owen going down to 3 off that attack. Looks like the one Dark Confidant got through. He's definitely very pressured in this game. It's going to be tough for him to come back. Looks like Phil just deploying another Tarmogoyf. This is... Oh, it seems that was a Dismember that killed the Snapcaster Mage. Alright, Owen Johnston. I'm not sure if he has any draws that save him. He could draw Lingering Souls and maybe buy a turn or two. He could draw Cryptic Command and stall Phil for another turn as long as Phil doesn't have any counter magic. Looks like he doesn't have anything like that. It's just going to scoop, bring it straight to game 2. That's alright. There we go. Phil up 1 game. This seems like a very interesting matchup. Very controlling on both sides. I'm very interested to see them get to the mid to late game on a more even level. It's going to make things a lot more interesting if we see a real counter war where everything is at stake. And in case any of you are trying to access our website, unfortunately we're having a bit of technical difficulties right now with our servers, the Crystal Commerce servers. They're the service we use to run our website. Their servers are down today. We've been trying to get in contact with them. We're going to try to get it up as soon as we can, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to access top8gaming.com at the full speed that we would like to be offering you. That being said, it should be up fairly shortly, at least within the next day or two. So that'll be fun. Both players making some interesting thinking hard about their sideboard decisions. Looks like they've got a few cards they want to take in, a few to take out. And in case any of you viewers at home are in the local area and haven't bothered coming out to one of our FNMs, we're really friendly here. If you just want to come out, we can take a look at your deck and really help you out, try to put something together. You know, we understand that some people are working on a budget and their decks might reflect that, but we're a big fan of really helping the community, helping people build their decks. If you want to come out before an FNM, we can help you out with your deck. And, you know, try to get you into one of these Friday Night Magics or Wednesday Magic. It'll be really fun to have more players. So if ever you're by Niagara Falls, we're located at 4559 Queen Street in Niagara Falls, Ontario. Alright, looks like they're about ready for Game 2. Also tomorrow, we've got Game Day Kaladesh going on. It's going to be 2 different tournaments. It's going to be standard all day from noon until probably about 10 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. So either tune in if you want to see some brews. We're going to be doing a lot of deck techs all day. We want to see all of the local players who've really customized their decks, either based off what they've seen at the Pro Tour, based off what they've seen online. We've got a lot of really good deck builders here. So it'll be very exciting. looks like we're going straight off into game 2. Owen's starting off with a Blood Crypt, going to cast an Inquisition, wants to pull apart Phil's opening. Looks like Phil brought in a Nile Spellbomb, doesn't want Owen to be doing too many shenanigans with his gift. Also a Spell Snare. Not sure. I think that's a Dismember. Right next to the Thought Scour, then Thought Scour. Okay, I got confirmation. Yes, that is a Dismember in Phil's hand. Playing with a promotional copy of it, so the art doesn't quite look the same as what most of the copies of the card looks like. Owen just playing a second land and shipping it back. Phil casting that Thought Scour on Owen's end step. Just playing a Breeding Pool. Not, looks like he didn't draw a 2-drop yet. Just staying steady right now. Owen playing another land. Looks like he might be passing it back too. This is the game I was hoping we would have. A really slow, grindy, each player just plays a land and hopes they can do that for as long as possible until everything just sort of happens in the course of 1 or 2 turns, and the game is really decided off of a few very key decisions. Looks like Phil taking the initiative, trying to cast some of the first spells. Starting off with a Nile Spellbomb. We'll see if this gets a response from Owen. Looks like he is going to respond. He's cracking off a fat trait now. Wants to have some mana so he can cast his own spells. Yeah. In the control mirrors, you generally never want to be the one who casts the first spell. This puts you behind, especially if you're doing it on your own turn. It means that your opponent's going to be able to fight you with this one round of spells, and then on their turn they're going to be able to untap and resolve whatever spell they want once you've used up all your counter spells. Oh, seems like the Nile Spellbomb actually resolved. He passed it back to Owen. Owen's just casting a Lingering Souls on his turn. Alright, seems that was countered. Actually gonna Spell Snare that counterspell that Phil used. I believe that was a Mana Leak or something like that. I'll try to figure out what Phil was casting. Oh, there we go. It was Rune Snag. See if I can get that up on the screen for you here. There it is. Counter unless it... Okay, so it's one of the escalating cards from Cold Snap. So for each copy of Rune Snag in your graveyard, your opponent has to pay an additional 2. At first, it's just one off of a Mana Leak. Seems like a good card to be playing in multiples. Alright, so Owen did resolve one of his Lingering Souls, the flashback one, the original one that he protected with his Spell Snare. And Phil just playing a Jace for his Prodigy and leaving up a good amount of mana. Owen starting the beatdowns and terminating that Jace before it can flip over in Planeswalker mode. It'd be much difficult to answer once it is Planeswalker. And there is another Rune Snag countering the Terminate unless Owen pay 4 mana this time, showing that that it is better than just a Mana Leak. Of course, Mana Leak would have hard casted it, or would have hard countered it too at that point. Owen still with 2 mana though. We'll see if he has anything else to do before or on Phil's turn. Looks like he's just going to activate Jace. It's going to flip over into Planeswalker mode. Not sure what there is to flashback on Phil's side. I believe it was a Thought Scour. Is this Traverse the Ulenwald? Not sure what else he could be casting for a green. Looks like he found a Grim Flayer with that tutor that we believe is Traverse. And he's flashing it back with Jace. Going to find a Snapcaster Mage as well. That seems very scary. If I was Owen, I would not want to be in this position. That being said, unless Phil has a removal spell that he's also going to cast right now, unopposed from Owen, then Owen is going to be able to finish off Jace. He's not going to be able to get any more recurring value off of the Planeswalker. That being said, being able to loot once and get yourself 2-drop bomb creatures is going to do a lot of work. I would definitely pay 2 mana to do that. And there we go, Owen taking out the Jace. Not going to get any more value out of it right now. But of course, it's already done its job several times over. And Owen trying to cast a Jace and a third Rune Snag from Phil. Just constantly countering. And now he's going to be able to just leave Snapcaster Rune Snag up. Owen's probably not going to be able to resolve any more spells this game. Well, looks like Phil might just be going for the Grim Flayer. Maybe just wants to put a clock on Owen. This means that he's not going to have Snapcaster Rune Snag up. So Owen potentially has an opening. We don't know if Phil has another counterspell in hand right now. So at this point, if I was Owen and I had my Gifts Ungiven in my hand, I would probably just cast it right now, while Phil seems a bit more vulnerable. Seems like the best chance to resolve it. Looks like he's just shipping back instead, not taking advantage of Phil's tapping half of his mana. And now Phil's just going to be able to start down his own beatdown, putting Owen on a much faster clock than those spirits are pressuring Phil. So advantage is all on Phil right now. He's got some very good cards in his hand, some very good cards in his graveyard, and Owen left with less lands, less powerful creatures. We're going to see if he's going to be able to come back right now, but it looks like Phil might be able to just take this one quickly in 2. Just shipping it back with all of that mana up. He's going to have Snapcaster Mage up. He might have a counterspell in his hand. Of course, every spell in his graveyard able to cast off that Snapcaster Mage. Alright, Owen with a Lingering Souls. Gonna try to get some more of those spirit tokens. Looks like they're just waiting to get some more tokens. Might just be flashing back the Lingering Souls right away. Just wanting to get as many spirits in play right now. With 6 spirits in play, that would actually put Phil on a 2-turn clock, whereas Phil has Owen on a 3-turn clock. It means that Owen's actually ahead in this race. That being said, Phil does have some very powerful spells in his hand. can activate those creeping tar pits and quicken the clock up by another turn too. So we'll see just how aggressive that Phil wants to go to try to outrace Owen, or if they maybe want to just completely slow down the game again and make this a more plotting control game. There we have the Dismember taking out one of the spirits. Phil, of course, playing black mana so he doesn't have to pay life. Looks like he just wants to be able to continue smashing in with the Grimflayer. It's going to bring Owen down to 8. Phil still at 11, I believe. Seems like Owen's actually at 7. I believe I missed fetch land on Owen's turn. So Phil actually putting a lot of pressure on. He's probably going to be able to, well, he can just activate a creeping tar pit, attack with the Grimflayer, and threaten lethal. Owen's not going to be able to just attack with all his creatures anymore. Looks like Phil looking at Owen's hand, taking out an instant or sorcery, taking out that Gifts Ungivens that I've been talking about this entire match. Very powerful card. It lets you search your library for 4 cards with different names and reveal them. And then your opponent gets to choose 2 of them. They go in the graveyard, the other 2 get to go in your hand. And so one combo that people use with Gifts Ungiven is they only search their library for 2 cards. They search for an... they search for the reanimation spell that has flashback, as well as either an Elish Norn or an Iona, being very powerful creatures with very high mana cost. They both go to the graveyard, and then the next turn you just pay 5 mana, and you return the giant creature to play and just take control of the game. Of course, because if you only search for 2 cards with gifts, your opponent has to choose both of them, they both go in the graveyard. Alright, Phil just smashing in with the creatures he already has in play. Not animating one of the creeping tar pits. Looks like Owen just wants to trade for everything right now. Phil, with his Jason play and his creeping tar pits, but being hellbent, does seem to be in a slightly more advantageous position. Owen casting Collective Brutality to drain Phil for 2, just trying to get a bit of extra value right there. And discarding his Elish Norn. Elish Norn, of course, having such a high mana cost, he doesn't actually have a hope of casting it, especially with it requiring either 2 or 3 white mana. We'll pull up Elish Norn there. There we go. 7 mana, 2 of which is white. Right now, this text is actually in Phyrexian. This is a promotional copy. It has Vigilance, and it gives all creatures you control +2/+2, all creatures your opponents control -2/-2. Just a hell of a creature to have in play. And it's a 4/7, just so much toughness. It's unlikely to die from damage or from a damaging spell, anything along those lines. Even Dismember doesn't kill Elish Norn. And so if he can just draw an Unburial Rites, that's the other card I was thinking of, the reanimation spell with flashback, he's going to be able to get that Elish Norn directly into play, and that means that Phil's not even going to be able to activate his creeping tar pits. Of course, they would turn into 3/2s. They would get -2/-2, but because they see Elish on the other side of the field, and they would instantly die. So Owen, I'm hoping he draws the Unburial Rites. I want to see this match go to Game 3. It'll be really exciting. Looks like we've just got a Spell Skite, though. Phil minusing his Jace. Just wants to draw some cards. Wants them to be very effective. Looks like Owen's giving his opponent Scavenging Ooze and Noble Hierarch. Maybe not the wisest choice. One Noble Hierarch and activating and creating being Tar Pit is lethal right here. So unless Owen left back some removal, he is dead. Oh, looks like he is dead. Alright. That was a very exciting game. There were a few opportunities for Owen to top deck something that would get him right out of there and into the dominant position in this match, but unfortunately didn't see his deck quite click together, and Phil being very controlling from the very get-go, whereas Owen had much slower hands that weren't very active in the first few turns. This is the magic I love to see, but I'm sure there are probably some viewers at home who want something with a bit more action, want some creatures and less counterspells. Anyways, I'm going to go check back in on the tournament upstairs. I will be back to...